In November of 2016, I pledged not to cut my hair until Donald Trump was impeached. And I've kept that pledge, obviously. I just never thought it would take this long. Oh yeah, this is a thing. So hair's getting long. As I said, I'm not gonna cut my hair until Trump is impeached. I was doing that nice high 1930s cut, but that's what the alt-righters are doing and those guys. So it's time to let our hair grow. Finally, on Wednesday, December 18th, the House Representatives voted yes on 2 articles of impeachment, charging Trump with abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. And that's it. I fulfilled my pledge. So is it snip snip time? Maybe. But first, I'm going to talk about where we've been and what's next, both for the fate of these lovely locks, as well as for we the people, because we still have work to do if we're going to see this thing through to Trump's conviction and removal from office. Hi, I'm Aaron Ukulele Loki Johnson, and this is your neighbor speaking.
This is your neighbor speaking.
In 2016, I pledged not to cut my hair until Donald Trump was impeached, but let me clear up something that seems to confuse Trump supporters. I haven't had it in for Trump since day one because I want him impeached. Trump was impeachable since day one, so I've had it in for him. And I think I speak for all of the resistance when I say we haven't been screaming about Trump's crimes because we want him gone. We want him gone because he continues to commit crimes that should be screamed about. For a nauseating stagger down memory lane, watch my other video, Trump's Atrocities, a litany of possible impeachments. I promise it's a quick recap. But today, I want to focus on what we do next and how my hair fits into the story. First, make no mistake, this impeachment is only possible because we the people sent a message during last November's election that enough is enough. We the people sent the Democrats to take over the House of Representatives and to do their constitutional duty as a co-equal branch of government. We elected this House of Representatives to serve up checks and balances on the most lawless, corrupt, and repugnant scoundrel to ever occupy the White House. And because the Republicans who previously controlled the House weren't willing to do it, we sent the Democrats to investigate and to impeach Donald Trump. And in light of Trump's most recent and blatant crimes with regard to the Ukraine, it's time. It's happening. This is real. 2 articles of impeachment have been passed by the House, making Donald Trump the 4th president in U.S. history to be investigated for impeachment and the 3rd to actually be impeached. That is part of his shameful legacy. But it's not over yet. It's up to us to see this impeachment through. Because even though we the people sent the Democrats to the House to do this job, the Republicans still control the Senate. And some of these Republicans have stated publicly and unconstitutionally that they intend to run interference for Trump, that they intend to protect Trump from the rule of law. 2 of these cowardly Republican senators, Lindsey Graham and Mitch McConnell, have bragged publicly that they will not uphold their oaths to be partial jurors. Graham said, "I'm not trying to be an impartial juror," and added, "I'll do everything I can to make it die quickly." And Mitch McConnell said, "There is 0 chance the president will be removed from office." He went on to say that he intends total coordination with Trump's legal team and admitted, "I am not an impartial juror." Well, that is not the sort of thing a juror is allowed to say and then take an oath to act as a juror. So we need to let them know it, and we need both of these senators to recuse themselves and to not preside over the impeachment. Every American, regardless of your party affiliation, needs to let them know it. And if you're a Republican, it's time for you to make noise about this too. Or if you know any Republicans, please invite them to join this resistance and do what they must know deep down is right. Demand the impeachment, conviction, and removal of Donald Trump. Because this is not a partisan impeachment. This is a constitutionally required impeachment. This is not a partisan investigation. This is an American investigation. The only partisan corruption in any of this is in the hands of those elected members of the Republican Party who are engaged in a shamefully un-American and partisan effort to hush this all up, to minimize Trump's crimes and to lie for his cover. So what can we the people do to fight this alarming cronyism from the current Republican Senate? We the people need to come out into the streets and use our every platform to amplify that this impeachment is necessary, This impeachment is required by the Constitution, and it's also up to us to stay out in the streets and keep using our platforms to demand that Donald Trump be convicted and removed from office, period. So call your House rep and thank them, but also tell your House rep that you are behind them to stay the course. First, demand that the House hold on to these articles of impeachment and refuse to release them to the Senate until the Senate assures us that a fair and impartial trial will happen. Also, demand that the investigations in the House continue until all of Trump's corruption from day one in office up until now is uncovered, until every subpoenaed witness testifies, until all of the evidence is brought forth onto the public record, until the dozen or more articles of impeachment that are due are served up and also voted on, and we must continue these demands until Trump is convicted and removed from office. Second, when we hear people say, but the Republicans just won't vote to convict even if he's guilty, we need to say that's not acceptable, because we're not asking the Senate to convict. We are telling the Senate to convict. We're not asking the Senate to remove Trump from office. We are demanding that Trump be removed from office. You see the difference? Try it. See, the third thing we all need to do is to call our senators and tell them today, and then do it again tomorrow and every day. They're going to be taking the temperature during all of this to see if we've given into apathy with a cynical shrug or if we're paying attention. So pay attention. Until we are heard, we the people need to be ready for part 4, and that is sustained, visible protest. Do we need to hold a national strike? If so, let's do it. Let's use our right to peaceably assemble in the streets. Let's fill the streets and surround the Capitol if necessary until Donald Trump, that unfit, lawless tyrant, that abuser of power, that obstructor of justice, that clear and present danger, is out of office once and for all. Don't stop until he's gone. So go ahead and raise a glass and a high five for the House's vote of yes on these first 2 articles of impeachment. It's past due. But let's not stop there. The removal of a sitting president has never happened in our nation's history, but it has never been more justified or more necessary than now. So it's up to us to remind everyone we know every day that until Trump is out of office, we're not going anywhere. Now, I began tonight by telling you that I made a pledge in 2016 not to cut my hair until Trump was impeached. Until Trump was impeached. That may seem like a pointless pledge to some, because obviously it's not the most effective form of protest. It's actually not remotely effective at all as a form of protest. But for me, that decision has served 2 purposes. First, my decision not to cut my hair until Donald Trump is impeached has allowed me to distance myself visually from the white supremacists who are clinging and circling in constant orbit around Donald Trump. These white supremacists have attempted to rebrand themselves as the alt-right, but we're not buying it. They're Nazis. And they're just the same a-holes, different decade. I'm referring to jerks like Richard Spencer. Remember this punched Nazi? The one who said he wasn't a racist, he just wanted an America First policy that celebrated white pride. Well, he was outed in November, giving a not at all surprising racist rant, confirming everything we already knew about him and his movement.
That's how the world works. Little they get ruled by people like me. Little octoroons. My ancestors enslaved those pieces of We're gonna win. I rule the world. Those pieces of get ruled by people like me. That's how the world works. We are gonna destroy this town.
Well, Spencer and his followers have appropriated a classic and handsome hairstyle that was popular in the early 20th century. And Trump's official white supremacist in the White House, Stephen Miller, who was also outed in November with a leaked barrage of racist emails, I'm sure he also wishes he had enough hair to pull off the look, and not just the spray-painted version. It's that short in the back, long in the front hairstyle. I rocked a slightly less fashy version of that look for over a decade. But trying times and marching Nazis prompted me to embrace my hippie roots. So I pledged that if those Nazis were going mainstream, I was going to double down on counterculture and let it grow. Now, I'm not implying that everyone with that haircut is a Nazi. Never. Personal style is a personal choice. I just chose to distance myself visually from those boys. But my pledge not to cut my hair until Trump is impeached has served a second and more important purpose. It has served as a daily reminder that our nation is in distress. That pledge has provided me with a daily talking point to measure for myself and remind everyone in my community how long an unfit, lawless, tyrannical, pathologically lying, malignant narcissist, a racist, a sexual predator, and a con man has been occupying the highest office in our land. It's been going on for this long. So in 2016, I pledged not to cut my hair until Donald Trump is impeached. Well, it's started. The House has voted to impeach, so I could officially cut my hair today. Or I could let it grow a little bit longer and see this thing through to Trump's conviction and removal from office. Because while impeachment is here, Trump isn't gone yet. What do you think? Should I cut it or let it grow? It's just a personal symbol, but symbols are important, and I've made it this far, so why not go the distance? I'm not sure. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And finally, I have an ask and a task for you. What is something you can pledge to do every day that will help keep this issue in the forefront until Trump is gone? Tell me in the comments or tell me in your own video. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for resisting Trump. I'm Aaron Ukulele Loki Johnson, and this is Your Neighbor Speaking. You can follow me and share your plans for resistance on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Your Neighbor Speaking. Oh, and to change gears and talk about urban sustainability, coming soon is my other channel, Your Neighbor Farming. Stay tuned. Thanks.